are recording. Let me get you my microscope camera to share. Right, here we are. Let me move this out of the way. This is my camera. This is the sample of the protozoan infusion that I got going. I think we're on day 6. Right here, I'm at a 40 total magnification right now. Here's a nematode. I see something zipping around really fast up here and over here. So those are low oxygen indicators, more over here and over here. So we are going to zoom in to look into that a little bit more. I should not have low oxygen. Oh, we're in water, so it's definitely low oxygen, but I mean, just, I shouldn't be increasing my, let me zoom here, ciliate levels at all. Okay, so you see we have a lot more ciliate action going on than what I've had in the past several days. Before we had really good flagellate numbers. For some reason, all of a sudden our ciliates just cropped up. So anyway, this nematode here, and we'll go ahead and zoom in a little further and see what we can find flagellate wise. So this here, let me get you in focus. Some of the things that we look for. A testate amoeba here. This looks like a ciliate cyst. This looks about the size of a ciliate cyst. This looks about the size of flagellate cyst. So oxygen may be getting a little low in here. So we can see what else we can find. It looks like our flagellate numbers have decreased. Well, that may be that I need to, okay, so they may be running a little low on the foods that they prefer. This looks like a flagellate here. See this moving right down here? That's going to be a flagellate. This here would most likely be ciliate. They move so fast it gets hard to. So yeah, that one there almost looks like spirillum that went there. These fast movers, this is, okay. So I've got to get up to the level here where you can see, this is a flagellate moving here. That's very obvious to see. So I just want to go all the way down and up through this column on the slide. This is, see this dragging, this is a aggregate here, and right there where the pointer is, I'm going to zoom in on that. It's hard to do this with, I can try to focus with one hand and use the, right here, you see him, he's a flagellate, he's got this arm, and he's hooked to this here. Here's a flagellate right here. I'm just not good at doing the focus with my left hand, so I'm just keeping the pointer on the flagellate. That's another flagellate there. Those are our protozoan. Those are good. Those are what we want to see. And to keep multiplying. So I believe I'm going to need to add another stimulant to bring this. So I'm looking at this aggregate, and it looks like it's possibly getting, it has something strand here, so there's a possible flagellate somewhere in there. This over here would most likely, let me move the screen just a hair, which I just moved it too far. So testate amoeba, okay, and let's say right here. If you look at this, this is a septa, and I believe septa there. So this is a beneficial fungi that would be counted in our fungal to bacterial ratio. That is a possible Arcella, which is an amoeba, but I don't see its opening, and it's most likely on the back side. So I cannot tell you for sure unless we could turn her around. That looks like a flagellate cyst. So our flagellate, this is a flagellate here, you can see. Here we got somebody moving slow. Yeah, we cannot let, here he is. He's all the way at the top of this screen. So we did catch him. He looked like he is a flagellate, but he's up the top. So there, now I'm up at the top. It's hard to focus this fast. And now he's moved off. All these little specks here are our bacterias. We don't count them right at this strength. We dilute. We can see about 30 bacteria per screen. Let's see if we can get him. He came in focus a little bit. I wanted to try to catch his tail, which I am not catching his tail. Okay, let's see if we can catch his tail. He's working around this aggregate here. And he's just not moving quite there. Right there is his tail. And he is using it to grab onto things. Okay, so here would be a filamentous type bacteria. Filamentous type bacteria. And I can show, like, this looks like a streptobacilla. Getting down on those teeny tiny levels. You just have to, find all the different species. Even different sizes of the same shape are also different species. Even though there's this many, what you would need to do with this sample is send it in to have a DNA analysis done, and it will tell you how many species, different species, through electrophoresis. Here is I think there's 2 of them teamed up dragging this here aggregate around. So that's what our protozoans do. Like, they call them the furniture arrangers here. And these are our aggregates. So they're working very hard to arrange this furniture here into what you call aggregates, and that's what increases the porosity of the soil. So that's why we want to add those protozoans into that area where it's a mossy layer. They're going to start pulling these soil particles together and making them larger particles so they don't make the soil surface anaerobically, because it's compact, because the rain, and when the rain hits the surface and 4 inches below, there's a vibration layer that then creates that compaction layer. So what they're trying to do is haul around these aggregates and make them larger and larger so that the particle sizes are bigger and bigger, so it can increase the porosity, which allows more water to soak into the ground instead of sit on top, and then cause that wet layer, which allows the mold to grow. This here looks almost like a spirochete that is not active, possibly dead. So you can see how active this sample is, with everybody moving in and out, and the flagellates trying to rearrange this these particles, pull them together, and then you'll have the bacteria in there creating the glues to then hold them together. They're trying to make a space for, say, the nitrogen fixing bacteria to create a anaerobic area pocket that they can do their nitrogen fixing in. This here looks like a diplobacilla. And you just have to look for streptobacillas, and I mean, there's just so many of them that you point, different sizes, different strains, things like that. So you've gotten to see the nematodes. There, I've pointed out a lot of flagellates here. You just see them moving, and I can only move this focus just minute amounts, and then there's a new area in focus. So it's not like I can get for you the entire sample in focus. We have to be looking at individual. So this would be a whole nother bacterial strain that I could, count. I think I have to, for biocomplete status, there has to be 15. Here is something, diplo, it's binary fission here. See, that's 2 different cells. Now they're going to divide here and create more. Here is another, looks like a flagellate there. I wanted to try to find you. Oh gosh, there's just flagellates everywhere. There's a flagellate here, there's a flagellate here. I'm trying not to count the same ones over again, but there's flagellates here. So I'm gonna need to add another biostimulant to keep them going strong. I wanted to see if I could find you a rotifer or a stalk ciliate doing its job. Moving things around here in the soil. We had quite a few of them, and they're usually hanging out on these particles. See flagellates coming through here. Super numbers of flagellates. What I can do to speed this. So like this right here, these look like almost could be a streptococci. They're too big, so to me they are a form of fungi spore. So right here, 1, 2, 3, we've got flagellates everywhere. Testate amoebae, flagellate. Everywhere you look, you're going to see flagellate. But I'm wanting to see if I can find you the rotifers, which they're low oxygen. Okay. Do you see this aggregate? And you're not going to see her, but do you see this? Sorry, I'm trying to point to it with my hand. This here water movement. There is a stalk ciliate in here. She's probably on the back side. Let's see if we can see her on the front side. Where is she? She is moving a lot of material though. Okay. That's not her there. She's off to the side. So we're not going to be able to focus on her because she is behind this aggregate. Okay. So, okay, that would just be another species that, you can count towards, but this can all be analyzed using electrophoresis to DNA test to see how many species you have here. I think that's a little overkill to do it, but if you want to know, sounds good, don't it? Look, let's count how many testate amoebas. There's 1, 2, 3. There is 4 testate amoebas right there in that screen, and lots of flagellates. So I don't think I'm gonna find yet. Hang on, let's zoom out. Now, see, we're gonna be able to take in way more territory. Sorry, that was my hand. And I can find them pretty quick. Because you just have to look for that vortex motion they got going on with the waters. And then if you can find them just hanging out on the edges, it's easier. But let's focus that guy. He looks huge. Yep, he's a ciliate. Zooming around over here, bottom right corner. I bet we can find one in this aggregate somewhere. Okay, I see a lot of motion coming out of the aggregate. I'm sure you would be able to find that too. And try to center it. Now I'm going to zoom in. We'll see what we can find. Because you can see this vortex. Flagellates are flying everywhere. Okay. So, nope, we're too high up. There's testatum amoebae though. Let's see who's creating that. There, she just zapped. She caught something. Now this is a ciliate below here. Okay, see that movement? That's a ciliate. Okay, she's going to take off. This one here is not going to take off because she is attached right here. And she's just got this vortex going on. Oh, this one's going to shove that one out of the way. So it's very possible that is, I don't know, she's looking like a ciliate almost too. She's really got that going. Now she's caught something she wanted to eat. So, okay. Not the exact stock ciliate I was looking for, but definitely a certain species of protozoan. And those two look like they're having fun. They're working together to bring in all those different varieties of bacteria to feed on. But you see how if we just look through here and we see that motion, there's something there. Flagellates move like that. You zoom back out, then we can take in more territory, but we've seen that vortex. That's why we went and looked at that. I've already went way past my time when it comes to keeping the video short, so. Just so much to see. More ciliates than before, I'll say that. There's nematode. Okay, well, I won't take up more of the time. You guys can all see this thing is loaded. And we will keep on checking it and see how long we can keep this up without going anaerobic. And back and forth, battling good and evil. Okay, that's it. Thanks a lot.